So a nice heart-centered practice this morning for Valentine's Day. I've got my nice purple surface for today. So finding your comfortable sit, cross-legged or otherwise, just noticing how you're feeling today. So close your eyes and tap into how you're feeling. See if you can do it without any judgment, without any emotions getting in the way, just completely observational. And we also look for reason a lot of the time, so just observing how you are. You don't have to find the reasons. Just being and seeing and feeling. And start to move a little, so your sit bones are very beautifully grounded. Hopefully you are dropping down and with your weight in the middle, and then putting your hands on your knees. So right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left knee. Just gently push into your left hand. Straighten up that left arm, and your torso will turn around towards the left. And then do the same on the other side. So just pushing against your knee, straightening the arm, and turning over to the right. And let's go over to the left again, and to the right. Slow movement. Just feel like you're gently warming up your spine. All the way up into your neck, so moving your head as well. So we're gently moving the head all the way from the left to the right. And that movement is really coming from the arms. It's mostly your arms manipulating your torso and your spine. And notice where that feels stuck or difficult or uncomfortable. And now start to dip your shoulders. So we're rolling the shoulders almost in a figure of 8. So right shoulder's doing a nice big figure of 8, and so is the left shoulder, but they're going in the opposite way. So right shoulder comes right, left shoulder comes to the left. I'm not explaining this very well, but have a good wiggle around, like you're sort of rummaging around in your shoulder sockets there. Start to move your elbows as well. That will be really bringing the movement into the rib cage. And then make sure that you go the opposite way as well. So a nice big wiggle, nice warm up of the spine, the neck, the head. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring the hands to heart center and breathe out slowly. As we breathe in, we're going to take the arms up and back. So opening up the heart and breathing in, coming back to hands between your middle of your chest. Breathing in, expanding, opening up, giant, open, move. And then as we breathe in, we round the spine a little as well, curling in, pushing the palms towards each other, bringing the shoulders round, curling, and then opening up again. So that might have been a little slow for your breath rhythm. Go at your own pace. But what we're doing is just rounding here, really sink back. Now start to curl, send the mid back right out, chin to chest, tucking right in, and then opening up. So love to the world, to everything and everyone and every being. And then we bring that in, draw it in, bring it into love. And then we're just making that lovely circle, that connectedness, the hands together, and taking all that love back in before coming back out again. Last one, make it really big. Think about opening up under the arms, think about stretching, making that torso really long, looking up perhaps, and then curling in. Stay curled in for a moment for a few breaths. Try to make them as long and as slow and as deep as possible. And then start to straighten up, keeping the hands at heart center and coming back. So gentle heart-centered warm up there. And we're going to come up to standing. So we're going to come up via a squat. Take your feet to the mat. And hands low. So let's keep hands on the floor. Knees out to the sides. And we're going to be warming up the hips here. So we've got a little bit of warming up from the shoulders. So we're just dipping the knees down. With that, we're also putting a really lovely stretch into the bottom of the toes, into the Achilles, the front part of the foot. And mine got quite stiff over the years. There's not as much range of movement there in the front of the foot. So a nice move from side to side. Think about lengthening through the side of your body as well. So maybe leaning over as far away from the knee that's dipping down towards the ground. And we haven't moved very much, but you might be starting to warm up a little. That's good. And then gently come back to center. Lift yourself up if you can. If you're able to take your hands off the floor, come up. Lovely. Let's just sit here for a moment. Easing into the hips. Whenever you feel like moving in an asana, go ahead and do that. Don't hold back. You need to sort of sway from side to side. You need to ease in and ease out of a particular joint. Do that. Don't just hold still when you feel like moving. And we're going to uncurl to come up. So we're going to take the head down, hands down. Keep the torso and thighs together. So maybe bringing your thighs back in towards each other. And then we're going to straighten up the legs, lift the bottom up towards the sky, but keep torso and thighs connected. So we're lifting, uncurling, torso, thighs stay together. Come to wherever works for you, where you feel like you know you're going to be unpeeling. And then release. Let go of that connection, straighten the legs completely. Straighten them completely. Send your hips up towards the sky. And then bring a tiny little bend back into the knees. Let's just enjoy this inversion for a moment. So head and neck completely at rest. Let the weight of your head gently stretch through the back of your neck into your upper back. Maybe even close your eyes and breathe. So we did a little bit of breath work at the beginning when we're moving with breath. And we're going to breathe throughout our practice. So lots of mindful breath through this practice. If you lose track or you lose your focus on your breath, just gently bring yourself back as soon as you're aware. I'll carry on reminding you through the practice to breathe. And just as another reminder, we're breathing in through the nostrils and out through the mouth or through the nostrils. Never in through your mouth, please. And let's uncurl. So very slowly, think about where that strength is. Can you press down with the soles of your feet into the ground? Are you engaging your calves, your shins, your knees, thighs? Remember that gentle bend in the knees. So lots of strength in the legs. Uncurling Nice and slow, head and neck. The last to come up. Wonderful. Take a lovely step forward with the right leg. You might have to adjust the left leg back. So we've got a nice stance there. Hips are angled forward. So right leg forward, left leg back. Toes pointing forwards, left and right. And then we're going to take a bend with the right knee. Take the arms up and out to the sides. So thinking about that heart opening, we're sending the sternum forward. Arms are out towards the sides. So a modified warrior one. And looking up, sort of 3/4 look. Now, if this gets quite intense in your lower back, just ease off. And then we're going to straighten that right leg, bring the arms in and round and all the way over to the other side. So same distance and sinking down into that left knee now. Arms wide, send your sternum forward. So very wide on arms. And breathe. And then all the way back up. Arms come in, hands to hips. Swivel forward and let's come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So a nice halfway bend to start with. Raise those kneecaps, bend in the knee, and then all the way down. Full fold forward. That's lovely. Keep going, folding forward. Allow your head and neck to be heavy. Hands down towards the ground. So let's dangle with the arms and let's take the left knee down towards the ground. Leg is still straight, not a huge movement. We're just moving through the hips here and then over to the other side. So it's really just taking the torso over to one side and then the other, and at the same time bending the knee where your torso goes. So lean to the right, bend the right knee, stretching into that left hip, and then over to the other side. And add a little bit of a spring in, so as you move from side to side, a little bit of a bounce. And getting a little lower each time. And last set, here we go, over to one side, and then over to the other. Your face comes quite low to the mat. Now settle back into the middle, small movements side to side with the hips. Nice deep, slow breath, and then we're uncurling to come up. Warming up, hurrah! Walking your feet in, let's come into our Utkatasana or chair. So up straight and tall, arms raised. So reach up, let's come onto tiptoes first. So onto tiptoes, reaching up. Find that spot to stare at. Keep the chest lifted and then back down and back up again. You're up on toes. Can you do a little bit of a roll out towards the little toes? Just giving the ankles a bit of something to think about. And then back to center. Bringing the ankles in towards each other. Squeezing the knees together. All still up on toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze into the thighs. And then come back to center line. And down towards your mat. And then we're going into chair. So we're going to sit back. I always want to say, sit back and relax. It's not very relaxing though, really, is it? Sort of is. Sort of isn't. So sitting back into that chair. Nice long line. Fingers to hips. And all the way down, back into squat, hands to the floor. And we're sending the hips up, stepping back into downward facing dog. We can have a little bit of a rest here. Very nice. Think about pressing palms of your hands into the mat and pushing away from your wrists, widening your shoulders. Head and neck completely relaxed here. So that's also your jaw, your eyes, your forehead, the back of your neck, top of your back, wherever you hold on to any stress, just letting it slide away. You focus on tilting those sit bones up towards the ceiling. Go on, have a real tilt there. Think about how that feels in the backs of your legs. I can feel those muscles stretching. Nice long legs. And then pivoting forward, sending the feet back, bringing yourself into plank. You're lovely and strong in this plank. We're coming into a couple of very nice heart openers. And the first one will be upward dog. So we're just taking the hips down towards the mat. At the same time, bringing your chest through, your hands, your arms rather. You might have to change the angle of your toes. So just pick a foot up and pop it down again, and the other one. So all the time we have our legs off the ground. So it's just toes and palms. Careful about dropping too much down into your wrists. We do need to bring the hands into action here. You might need to adjust to bring your chest through between your arms. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze the legs. And then we're going to take tops of the feet to the mat, but still keep the thighs off. There we go. So push into your arms. You need to be really long in your arms here to get enough clearance. Breathe. And then we're pushing back into Balasana. So tuck your toes under, knees down, all the way back. So Balasana and up dog are a really lovely pose and counter pose combination. A lot of movement in the lower back, quite deep movement both ways. And we're much more used to the folding forward motion, can't speak. So Balasana feels like a much simpler asana for many. It's nice to pair something where you feel a little bit more like you're hardworking with something that might feel a little simpler. Make sure that you're stretching your arms away here, hands creeping forward, a nice opening up under the arms, top of the chest, trying to lay your torso down on your thighs, and remembering to breathe. Heels come, or heels stay where they are, hips come to heels. Breathing nice and deep. And we're moving into puppy dog from here. So look forward to your hands. And we just keep the forearms low. So take your forearms to the mat. Can you feel your elbows on the mat? Just about. So try and keep them there, keep that contact. And we're just sliding the arms forward, and we're going to keep the torso thigh connection really strong. So bottom comes up and arms slide forward. Come to wherever works for you before you feel like your torso and your thighs are going to part company. And take your chin to the mat and drop your chin down. Can you feel that opening up in the throat and neck? So along with opening up the heart, we also want to open up the throat chakra. So when we say heart, we do mean heart chakra. So we're opening up the heart and throat chakra so we can not only feel love and receive love, we can also speak and share and ask whatever we need to get more love into our lives. We start by giving, so opening up the throat chakra is very useful here. And then if you feel like it and you want to, you can edge the arms forward a little more, maybe coming away, so separating the thighs and torso, bringing your chest to the mat. Now this is a really strong asana on shoulders. So go to where it's comfortable for you. And then we are going to slide all the way forward. So you might need to take some weight into your arms, or you might prefer to slide your legs backwards. Do whatever works for you. I've run out of space, so I have to relocate. So coming into Sphinx, another beautiful. I don't know if anybody saw that. A man just walked past my window. He's going to start repointing the bricks outside. So, oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well. So Sphinx. So feet, tops of the feet into the mat. Press them in. Let's just wake the legs up. There we go. Nice woken up legs. And then let's bring our attention to our arms. So the whole of the forearms on the mat, your hands are palms down onto the mat as well. And then we're going to lift up from there. So we start to straighten up, take the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. So we get a little bit of a extreme bend in the back. Relax your legs for now. And we're going to draw the elbows back. So Sphinx, drawing the elbows back, drawing the shoulders back, sending the sternum forward. Remembering to breathe. Think about trying to get your ribs, the lower ribs onto your mat, your belly onto the mat, and then every other rib off the mat. Breathe. Well done. And let's come back down to the mat. So coming into Makara. Allowing yourself to flop, melt. Just be completely relaxed. Let go. Throughout our yoga practice, we don't just have the relaxation at the end. We hold, we practice our focused breathing, we move, we put the body through its paces. And within those moments, we also have to put in moments of relaxation and rest and peace and the ability to breathe unencumbered. So this is one of those. Makara is a resting pose, so just make the most of it. There we are, and let's come back up. So now tuck the toes under. Bring your hands either side of your chest. A nice strong press into the floor. We're coming up into a plank. So maybe chest off first, then hips. Maybe you're a straight off the floor kind of person. Whatever works for you. Coming into your plank. And then we're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow. Left leg stays where it is. We're just bringing that one in, squeezing, and then taking it back. Left knee to left elbow, and all the way back. And right knee to right elbow one more time. And back. Left knee to left elbow. And all the way back. Bring your knees to the mat. Find your tabletop position. So you'll have to adjust a little. Find your spaces. Hands into the mat. Knees into your mat. Feet out behind you. And let's come into Chakravakasana, cat and cow combination. So taking the tummy down towards the mat. Head up. Now you all know your Chakravakasana really well. To go at your own pace. With the breath. So as we take the belly down towards the mat, we're breathing in, bringing the head up, bringing the hips up, head and hips up, tummy down, and then to breathe out. Chin in, hips in, mid back up. And when you need to breathe again, moving into your cow posture, shoulders are wide. Heart center forward, and then curling in. And again, think about sending your energy out to the world, opening up, not only opening up, but ready to receive, and then taking all that you receive and assimilating it, really taking it on board, curling around. And again, loving everybody else, and then bringing it back in, loving yourself, and accepting all the love that's given to you. And then coming into neutral, sending yourself back into Balasana. Choose how you'd like to come into your Balasana. I'm going to take my knees really wide, big toes together, and send heels back. Send the hips back to the heels. And slide forward. Another nice opening up under the arm. Well, both of them. So arms. And taking some nice, slow, deep breaths. And we're coming up to downward facing dog. We're going to put a little bit of a variation on it today. Big heart opener there. So let's look forwards to the hands and then come back. We're coming to downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift up. Find your comfortable distance between your hands and your feet. Let's get that relaxation going in the head and neck, shoulders wide. So it's quite common really when you jump into your down dog to have your shoulders quite tightly in. Take a moment to widen and tilt your hips up. And we're going to, in a little bit of space here, we're going to take the right leg up. So three-legged dog, try and keep everything else as it was. So no leaning over just yet. And then we're going to bend that right leg. So take the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. And then let's open up the hips to the side. So allow that right leg to drop back behind you. So a nice open hip. And if you can take that foot all the way round behind you. You just have to move a little. Door in the way. And drop it back down towards the ground, bringing that right arm off and opening up. So huge hip opener there into wild thing. Very difficult not to sing that tune. So we're on left arm rather, left leg, right leg is supporting you behind, and opening up into the chest. And then we take that strength in that right arm to bring it all the way around, back down towards the ground. Hips will have to flip, bringing yourself back into foot up towards the ceiling, and then downward facing dog. Move back. So let's do the same on the other side. If wild thing is not your thing, then you just stay in three-legged dog and play with the lifted leg, straightening, bending, foot to ceiling, whatever it is you feel like doing. Now again, set yourself up properly. Let's take hips up towards the ceiling, lengthening through the backs of the legs. Shoulders are wide, head and neck relaxed. And we're going to lift that left leg slowly, keeping everything else the same. Bend, lift, sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. And then we're sending that left foot up a little higher, opening up the left hip. And then as we turn around, taking the left hand off, right arm comes into being. Your sole support, the top half here. And allow your left arm to really open up. Huge chest opener. Breathe. And then let's take that left arm back round. Back to foot up towards the ceiling. And then bringing that left leg back down. Knees to the mat. Elbows and forearms to the mat. Clasp your hands together. And push back. So we're pushing back towards heels. Coming into a form of balasana. Hands clasped together. Elbows, forearms onto the mat. And then looking forward to your hands. Hands flat to the mat, tuck your toes under, come to downward facing dog. One more time. And then walking the feet forward, walking the hands backwards, staying low. Nice easy forward bend, Uttanasana, and we're going to sway. So taking your hands on the outer edge of your right foot and then swinging all the way around to the outer edge of your left foot and then round again. Little half circles with your hands. Again, deep, slow movement into the hips. And that's making me dizzy. So let's come back to center. And we're going to uncurl to come up. Nice and slow. Uncurling all the way up. Have a little wiggle of the shoulders. And then we're stepping the right foot forward. Give yourself some space. So right foot forward, left foot back. Taking the arms up. and sinking forward. So just a regular warrior here. Regular warrior, lovely heart opener. And we add a little bit on here. So we're going to turn, taking the right arm towards the left leg. So you're going to have a little bit of a twist. Left arm comes down. So a standing warrior twist-ish. Not a huge twist, but try and look down towards your right hand. Left arm comes up a little. Think about not collapsing your chest down, but staying nice and upright with the chest. So a little bit of balance, a little bit of hips, a little bit of heart opener. Nice and strong in the legs. And then let's come back. Straighten the legs. Step it forward. All the way back with the right leg this time. And sinking down into warrior. Yes, still keeping those arms up. Lift your chin a little. Send your heart center forward. Lovely and long in the front of your body. And then we're taking the left arm down and back. Right arm stays up. Facing forward. Stay there, breathe. Looking back towards your left hand. Breathing slow and deep. And then straightening up, arms come up together and then step forward. Taking the arms wide now, legs wide, and we are in Prasarita Padottanasana. Stay arms wide as you fold forward. Lovely. Arms are still wide. Take them down to your hands. Head and neck completely at rest. And I feel like moving into my hips here, so I'm doing a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. Up to you to stay still or have a wiggle, whatever works. And breathe. Nice deep breaths. Bringing your hands directly to the floor in front of you, or to the floor directly in front of you. And starting to move the hips down towards the ground. You might need to walk your feet in a little. We're coming into a low squat. A low, long, wide squat. So hands out towards the inner edge of your thighs. Bottom comes down. By keeping the knees wide, by popping the arms just inside, so the knees stay wide. When you bring your hips down, that puts a bit of a stretch into the hips. So if it's too strong for you, ease off a little. Take away the pressure of your hands, your arms, squeezing the knees out to the sides, and then bring yourself all the way down and legs into Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose, or cobbler pose, or adjust your clothing pose. So here we are, ankles on the mat, heels moving in towards you, knees moving out to the sides. And breathe. So time to play with this posture. So hands are pushing your knees out to the sides as you lean forwards. Or holding onto your feet and drawing your heels in towards you a little further, again, as you fold forward. So with each breath, we breathe in to come out, breathe out to move forward. Try to keep this asana dynamic by making lots of movements, very small, deliberate, but powerful movements. And sit up tall. Let your sit bones be completely supported by the mat. And let's take the arms out to the front, rounding in the shoulders. Think about taking your shoulder blades away from each other, bringing the tops of your arms as close together as you can. And then we send the hands forward a little bit more and then start to open up. All the time we are stretching our fingertips as far forward as we can. Feel that in your shoulders, in your neck, in the top of your body. We start to move the arms out. We've been moving the arms out the whole time, but keep that feeling of length in your arms as long as possible. Each arm, make space between your fingers, sending your hands out behind you now, past the midline, trying not to lean forward too much, and bringing your shoulder blades together, squeezing them together, taking your hands as far behind you as you can, opening up. So very awkward to do this pose because we want to be leaning forward. We're not feeling comfortable perhaps with our legs, really just supported by sit bones and ankles here. Well done, doing a great job. Open up and then let's slowly bring that forward. So feel as if you're squeezing something, big giant squishy ball. So lots of tension in the hands and in the arms. Notice how much more comfortable your legs and your hips feel when you're bringing your arms close together again now, and then bringing them back down. Well done. One last move to stretch a little more into the groin, holding onto your feet now, leaning forward. So that movement needs to be in the hips. It doesn't have to really come too much in the top of the body. Tilting the hips forward. Getting into all those little muscles in there, and your pelvis, so many little muscles, all needing to be working well to be able to manipulate the legs in all the different directions, keep the torso strong, give yourself flexibility, and to feed the hips. Nice strong hip bones. And coming back up. We're going to keep the left leg in and take the right leg out. The right leg out to the side. You might want to turn the foot here and bring the heel off the ground. More of a top of the foot onto the mat scenario. Excuse me. Putting lots of focus onto your left leg here, pressing down into the mat, your sit bones both beautifully solid onto the mat. We're going to lift this right leg. So a little bit off the mat. Only has to come off a couple of millimeters. Breathe. Lots of strength in this thigh here. Nice strong thighs. Again, feeding the hips, feeding the femur, feeding all the bones. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then bring it round and in. So you can bring it round and in without putting it to the ground until it comes all the way in, and swap legs. Well done. Left leg out to the side now. And can you guess what's next? So remember that you might want to turn this foot so that you've got your heel up and the top of your foot down. Sit up nice and tall, both sit bones into the mat. This leg's giving you some support, and left leg comes off. And it's not a big movement. Even if it doesn't come off the mat, keep feeling as if you are using all the muscles that you can to try and get that feeling of taking it off the mat. So everything can be working even if your leg doesn't particularly move very far. I found that so much easier lifting my right leg than my left leg today. And breathe, hold, and bring it in. Yeah. How does that feel? Well done. Feet back together for Baddha Konasana. One last time, holding on, leaning forward, breathing out. And then when you're ready, nice deep breath coming in all the way up. And let's take both legs out for a little bit of Paschimottanasana, massaging those lovely internal organs that we need. So toes pulling back to the face, up tall, shoulders wide. As much of the backs of your legs onto the mat as you can, and then inhaling up. So let's take the arms up, either at the front or to the side, and fold forward. Okay, just deflate like a balloon as you fold forward. Close your eyes. And with every in-breath, allow yourself to re-inflate. So get lots of air into the chest. Bring yourself away from your legs. And as you breathe out, folding forward. Three breaths here. Close your eyes if you'd like to. Bring your focus right into yourself. Noticing what's easy, noticing what isn't. Practicing being able to observe those things without attaching reason or blame or anything. Just staying in the moment. Staying in what is, not what could be or maybe or anything. And then slowly coming all the way back up, bringing your feet in. We're coming into our last big heart opener. We're going to be doing that on the floor. So let's find ourselves moving down to the mat. Heels off. A little bit of balance in your lovely boat pose. And then let's come all the way down to the mat. When you're ready, moving away. This is slow, good control or not. All right, so last lovely heart opener, Siddha Bandhasan bridge. We all know how to do bridge. Feet flat to the floor, hips up. So pressing the soles of your feet down into the floor, using the soles of your feet to lift yourself up. And you can roll your shoulders under if that works for you. Bringing yourself onto the top of your back, clasping your hands together can also feel quite lovely here when you're bringing this into a real heart opener, pressing your arms down into the mat, lifting, squeezing the glutes. And then start to release yourself from here, rolling your shoulders out, taking your spine down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. And bringing your knees into your chest. Time for a little bit of a rock from side to side. Take your arms nice and wide and take that rock over to the right. So knees to the right, left shoulder pinned to the mat, and your head over to the left side. Nice deep breath here while you're in your twist, breathing in as deeply as you can. And then head back to center. Your knees back across your body. Nice slow skim across the body over to the other side. And breathe. Maybe you've got your eyes closed. Bring your head back to center first. Bring your knees into center. Give yourself a squeeze. A nice big hug. Well done. Bringing yourself to your practice. A bit of a rock from side to side. Bring your forehead up to your knees, squeezing into a little ball. And then releasing back down. Bringing yourself into Shavasana. So taking your legs out and down to the mat. Making space between your arms and your body. Hands, palms facing up towards the universe, or the sky, or the air. And allowing yourself to settle. Helping yourself to settle. Helping yourself to feel comfortable here. Close your eyes. And have a bit of a stretch. So make each leg as long as you possibly can. And then stretch your arms away from each other. Long arms, long legs, relaxed spine. Gently lifting your right hip and then placing it back down. The same on the other side. Very slow, slight movement, just stretching and making space in your body. Allowing your spine to feel long, completely at ease. Allowing your shoulders to be soft and relaxed. Long in the neck. And bringing your attention to your breath. Taking your breath right down into your belly as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, allowing your body to settle and ease a little deeper into a state of deep, peaceful relaxation. As you breathe in, taking that breath to every single cell, from your toes to your fingertips to the crown of your head. And as you breathe out, letting go. Letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Letting go of expectation. Letting go of need or want. As you breathe in, breathing in a deep sense of peace and calm. And allowing that to flow wherever it needs to go in your body. Taking your attention to any areas that you know you hold on to a little tighter when you don't feel safe, and allowing those spaces to relax and ease and let go. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your calves and shins. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs and your hips. Relax your belly. Relax your chest. And relax your hands. Relax your forearms and your elbows. Relax your upper arms and your shoulders. Relax your heart center and relax your throat and your neck. Relax the whole of your face, your jaw, your lips, your nose, your cheeks. Relax your ears. Relax the whole of your scalp. Feel the whole of the base of your body where it rests on the mat. Feel that you're completely supported. Feel the universe has got your back. That you are loved and always have been. Feel that you are loved and always will be. Know that the more you give, the more you send your love out into the world, the more contented and peaceful you will be. Breathing in and out at your own pace. Aware of each breath as it comes and goes. As you breathe in, gently bringing yourself to your right side. Settling into that peaceful space. As you breathe in, and your next in-breath, gently bringing yourself up to sitting any way that is comfortable for you. Bringing your hands to heart center. Lengthening through your spine. Feeling yourself from sit bones to the crown of your head. Pressing your right hand into your left into your right. Feeling that strength in your arms and your shoulders and your torso. And then let's rub the hands together. Let's get some nice sparks flying. A little bit of energy, a little bit of movement there, or quite a lot of movement, and then cup them over your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, huge in-breath through the nostrils. And as you breathe out, gently bringing your hands back to heart center and namaste. Thank you very much for joining me for your heart-centered practice today.